What if I told you that the thing you're chasing, success, money, happiness, isn't actually what you're looking for? Maybe you think everything will finally fall into place once you get that dream job, or once your business takes off, or once you become that ideal version of yourself. Like, I used to think that too. But after years of working, learning, failing, and growing, I've realized that that was never the answer. And in the next few minutes, I want to share 5 lessons I wish I had learned sooner. Lessons that could have saved me years of stress, overthinking, and chasing the wrong things. Now, the funny thing about life is that it never quite goes how you think it will. I'm 32 now, and hopefully I've got another 50 years ahead of me. But when I look back at the last 15 years, the years where I started figuring out who I am, what I care about, what actually makes life meaningful, I realized just how much I've learned. I've learned things the hard way. I've made mistakes. I've chased things I thought would make me happy, only to realize they didn't. And if I could go back and talk to my younger self, this is the first thing I'd say. Protect your time and your attention like your life depends on it. Because it does. When I was younger, I thought I had all the time in the world, right? And I said yes to nearly everything. Every opportunity, every request, every distraction. And I thought success meant being busy. But looking back, I wasn't moving forward. I was just moving. I remember a time when my days were completely packed. I had work, I was studying, I was doing volunteering work, social events. And by the end of the day, I was just exhausted. But I wasn't fulfilled. And then one day I asked myself, if I keep living like this for the next 5 years, will I be happy with where I end up? Or will I feel like I'm in the same position? And the answer, I probably won't be happy. Because the truth is, where you put your time and attention shapes your life. And if you're constantly spending it on things that don't matter to you, you wake up one day wondering why your life doesn't look the way you want it to be. The second lesson is, don't be afraid to make mistakes. They aren't failures, they're actually lessons. We're taught to fear mistakes, to see them as proof that we're not good enough, not smart enough, not capable enough. But what if we've been looking at them all wrong? For the longest time, I beat myself up every misstep. Every wrong turn felt like a setback. But looking back, those moments were actually my greatest teachers. Like, I remember taking on a project that felt way out of my comfort zone. Like, I struggled, I second-guessed myself, and in the end, it didn't work out the way I had hoped. And at the time, I saw it as proof that I had failed. But now I realize it was the best thing that could have happened, because it forced me to grow. It showed me where I needed to improve, and it pushed me to become better. Now, I know that the people who succeed aren't the ones who never mess up. They're the ones who fail, learn, and keep going. And that's something I wish I had understood earlier, because I spent way too much time chasing success the wrong way. And that leads me to the next big lesson. Success on its own is meaningless, unless it's the right kind of success. For a long time, I thought success was about achievements. And I told myself, once I hit that big milestone, I'll finally feel like I made it. I'll finally be happy. And then one day, I reached one of those milestones. I hit a goal I had been working towards for years. And for that moment, it felt great. But then the feeling quickly faded. And I remember sitting there thinking, wait, why doesn't this feel as good as I thought it would? And that's when I learned success, if it's not aligned with what actually matters to you, feels empty. I've met people who have everything, like money, status, recognition, and they're still miserable because they spent years climbing a ladder only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. So the real question isn't, how do I become successful? It's, what does a successful life look to me? And if your definition of success isn't one you're excited to wake up to every day, it's simply the wrong definition. And nothing makes that clearer than when you start comparing your life to someone else's. And that's lesson number 4. comparison is the fastest way to steal your joy. There will always be someone ahead of you, someone more accomplished, someone who seems to have it all figured out. And for years, I let that get to me. I looked at people who were doing better than me and think, why am I not where they are? But here's what I've learned. The only comparison that matters is between who you were yesterday and who you are today. Because comparison is literally just an illusion. Like we compare our behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. And that's pretty much never a fair game. And the day that I stopped measuring myself against others and started focusing on my own progress, that's literally the day that everything changed. And that leads me to the last lesson, because comparison often makes us focus on things we can't control instead of the things we can. We spend so much time stressing over things we can't control. The weather, other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks. And every time we convince ourselves that if I just try harder, I can fix everything. But here's the truth. You can't control everything, and trying will only leave you frustrated. Like I used to obsess over every outcome. And if things didn't go as planned, I'd overthink, stress, and try to fix everything. But then I realized something. Like the only thing I truly have power over is me, my thoughts, my actions, and how I respond to challenges. And once I focus on those, everything changed, because the moment you let go of what you can't control, you take back power over what you can. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's the biggest lesson life has taught you so far? And if you want more insights on building a life you truly love, make sure to subscribe and also subscribe to my newsletter. See you in the next one.